Hello, Aristotle. I was talking to your mate Plato yesterday about his ideas, and I was wondering about what you think of Plato. As far as I'm led to believe, at the academy, you were actually one of Plato's students, is that correct?
Hello, Kieran. Yes, I was indeed a student of Plato at the Academy. His ideas were foundational for me, but I also developed my own perspectives, especially emphasizing empirical observation and the importance of the natural sciences.
So, and how do they differ your ideas from Plato's ideas? Like, what is it that Plato taught you, and what did you bring to the table?
Plato emphasized the existence of ideal forms, believing that the material world is a mere shadow of these perfect forms. He taught me the importance of abstract thinking. In contrast, I focused more on the empirical, believing that knowledge comes from observing the natural world. My concept of the golden mean and focus on practical ethics are examples of how I built on and diverged from his teachings.
What is the golden mean?
The golden mean is my idea that virtue lies between two extremes. For example, courage is a mean between cowardice and recklessness. It's about finding a balanced, moderate position in our actions and emotions, avoiding excess or deficiency.
So you think the key to living a good life is moderation? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. I believe that living well involves practicing moderation in all aspects of life. By aiming for the golden mean, we cultivate virtues that lead to a balanced, fulfilling existence.
So for you, Aristotle, what is truth?
For me, truth is aligning our thoughts with reality. It's about observing the world carefully and using reason to understand it. Knowledge comes from experience and rational thought, seeking to understand causes and principles.
Okay, and is there anything in which you disagreed with Plato?
Certainly, while I respect Plato, I differ on the theory of forms. I believe that forms exist within objects themselves, not in a separate realm. My focus is more on empirical observation and understanding the natural world.
Okay, so it's, your version of truth is more grounded in reality, whereas Plato, because I spoke to Plato last night and he was talking about this the world of forms. He was saying it exists beyond our senses. It's something that we can access, but we can never fully comprehend it. But whereas you're saying that these forms actually exist within the objects themselves, is that correct?
Exactly. I believe that the essence or form of a thing is found within the object itself, not in a separate, intangible realm. Our understanding comes from studying the natural world and using reason to grasp the principles behind it.
Is there anything that you could add or anything you could explain to me about your philosophy that you haven't already told me about?
Certainly, one key aspect is my concept of the four causes: material, formal, efficient, and final. These explain why a thing exists: its substance, form, the source of change, and its purpose. Understanding these causes helps us grasp the nature of everything around us.
Okay, can you explain those four causes in more detail?
Of course, the material cause is what something is made of, like wood for a table. The formal cause is its shape or essence, the blueprint. The efficient cause is the agent or process that brings it into being, like a carpenter. The final cause is the purpose or goal, the reason it exists. For the table, that's to provide a surface for activities.
Okay, can you also explain, Aristotle, how I can integrate your philosophy into my day-to-day life?
Certainly, to integrate my philosophy into daily life, practice moderation by seeking the golden mean in your actions. Aim for balance, whether in work, relationships, or personal habits. Also, pursue knowledge by observing the world, asking questions, and applying reason. Lastly, consider the purpose behind your actions, ensuring they align with your goals.
Okay, and how do I know what my goals are?
To discover your goals, reflect on what brings you fulfillment and aligns with your values. Consider your strengths, interests, and how you can contribute to your community. It's about finding a balance between personal happiness and meaningful pursuits.
Okay, and um, yeah, I think yeah, kind of I have a better idea now of what you believed. Maybe you could also uh, explain to me about how your philosophy or line of thought has impacted the world. Like how have you impacted our world based on what you've brought to the table?
My work laid the foundation for Western philosophy, especially in logic, ethics, and natural sciences. My emphasis on empirical observation influenced the scientific method. My ideas on virtue and the golden mean continue to shape discussions on ethics and how to live a balanced life.
Okay, last question. Tell me about virtue. What is virtue for you?
For me, virtue is a habit of excellence, a balanced state of character that enables us to act according to reason. It's about finding the mean between excess and deficiency in our actions and emotions. Virtue leads to a flourishing life, or eudaimonia, where we realize our potential.
Okay, and do you think that?
Yes, I believe
But wait,
striving for
wait,
virtue
wait.
is essential for a
Aristotle, one question. Do you think that everyone has the capacity to reach and find that potential, or do you think that only some people have that capacity?
I believe everyone has the capacity to strive for virtue. It's about recognizing and developing one's unique potential. With effort and reflection, each person can cultivate virtues and lead a balanced, meaningful life.
So what? Why is it that some people don't live balanced and meaningful lives? Why do some people turn away from virtue?
There are many reasons. Often, it's due to external circumstances, lack of knowledge, or influences that lead them astray. Sometimes, it's a struggle to find balance amid life's challenges. However, with awareness and effort, it's always possible to move towards a more virtuous life.
Okay, Aristotle. Well, thank you for the chat.